Let's check NHK Radio Japan. Oh, that's Voice of Korea I went to. 11815. It's actually better than Voice of America on 12080. Because Voice of America on 12080 usually is like booming in here, and right now it's not doing it. Good morning, Smiley. How are you? I'm doing The K-index, the sun is not happy right now. It's spewing its radiation over, so the radio waves are not great right now. Like Voice of America, which I will tune to right now, usually booms in here, and oh, that's 12020. But right now, usually it booms in here. Now it's like super weak and fluttery. I can barely hear Voice of Korea, which is also a good one. And yeah, we've been pretty lucky. I think the highest we usually get is like 3 for a while, but think that happens every time the solar cycle comes in. Yeah, it's usually a lot louder and stronger. Right now it's quite weak because the sun is causing radio blackouts right now. Solar flux is good though in the 200s, which is good because the higher the solar. How I understand it is solar flux, the higher the better. K index, the lower the better, and I think K index is measured like 1 to 10 or something like that. With it being 5, and it can be measured at 0 K index. K index 0 is usually good for like medium wave DXing and other things. Like if you have a high solar flux and a low K index, propagation would be great. But right now, we've got a good solar flux, but we have a K index of 5, which is not great. Hello, Bandcom 90. We are tuning the bands on a very, very not great propagation day. Voice of America 12080, usually a strong one, is like coming in very fluttery. And Voice of Korea on like 11710 is basically non-existent. But NHK Radio Japan is doing good for some reason. So let's see if we will get something. Yeah, NHK is the Japanese state broadcaster. Got something there on 11640. (3325) or 4755. Voice of Indonesia is a really hard catch here in North America, but I can always try it. It might not work because it's daytime out right now. I'm gonna go in SSB and see if I can hear a carrier. I like to consider that I've been around for shortwave as a historic change, that Voice of Indonesia changed from 4750 to 4755. Ooh, let me adjust the camera there. There we go. Hey, you gotta enjoy your Taco Bell, Smiley. It's a requirement. Nothing there. Try 4755. Nothing. Nothing. No existence of Voice of Korea or potential Voice of Mongolia. I had cereal, Smiley. That's what I had for breakfast. Take a look here. I want to see if Radio New Zealand is even propagating. Radio New Zealand is barely propagating. I had Honey Nut Cheerios. You know, I bet that means we won't get Transworld Radio Eswatini either. From down in Africa. You know, I'm observing something at the baseball field I'm at, and one of the American flags is half down, and I don't know what that's about. Could be from yesterday, I don't know. Or what happened yesterday, years ago. Wipe some of the dust off. It could be from Labor Day, yeah. Whew. Itchy on my leg. Thank goodness it's not a... Oh, it is. Okay, I didn't know if that was what that was for or not. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know, like, when I was at school yesterday, like, the principal went on the announcements, like, remember this, stuff like that. No class talked about it at all. And every year I've had one class talk about it, and this year, no. Last year was my Spanish class, and yeah, just this year, it's like, it just went by like nothing happened. I'm assuming probably because they're like, you know this so much already that we don't need to teach you this again. I just realized I'm going way out of the band. Let's tune the amateur radio operators. Would you like that, Smiley? See what the hams are up to on a very not great propagation day. Let's see if we'll get any hams. We don't know. WWV is still strong for me as expected, since I'm literally like next to it. I mean, I'm 30 miles away from it, but come on, it's like when you're talking shortwave, 30 miles is like your next door neighbor. Oh, we're getting a ham. See if I can fine tune them in. Oh, we're not getting the other conversation from the other person. They're too weak. Wonder if they'll talk about the propagation. There we go, I was able to fine-tune them correctly. Even going like 10 hertz off, you can notice a difference in the sound on SSB. But I've been able to fine-tune it correctly. There's a little switch over here that lets me fine-tune, which in a single sideband is something you need. I can't imagine how it was done in the 80s and such like that, because having to be so accurate on SSB, it has to be so hard. They forgot your extra hash brown? That is a disgrace. That is a disgrace. Disgrace, 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 disgrace. That's not right.
I'm wondering how Charles is doing down there in Louisiana. I hope he's fine. The good thing about him is he's far enough offshore he shouldn't have any of the...
So the best part is I don't even know where these hams are coming from. One of the things I like listening to tune into on, it's a Morse code identification of call signs, but it's called the International Beacon Project. It's on different amateur radio bands, like 20 meters and stuff like that. One of the best parts is it's constant 24/7. So it'll be like, for an example, it'll be like a station in New York will give its call sign, then one in Nunavut, Canada, which is way up north, then California. I think it goes, at least I'm actually giving it an order that I know so far for now. Then it goes like down in New Zealand and Australia, and it's just constant Morse codes. There's one up in Finland and stuff like that, and they just keep going. And on Tuesday, I got the New York station, Nunavut up in Canada, California, Hawaii, and I got South Africa, which was pretty impressive for the morning right now. Of course, that I don't think I'll get that today because it's pretty weak. I am on my off hour, Smiley, today on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, but I don't do Mondays. I only do live streams on Tuesdays and Thursdays if I can, because Mondays is only 46 minutes long off period, whereas today is my longest. It's like an hour and a half, so.
As I said, it's the submarine veteran test.
That's the end of the 20-meter band. You know, let's go down to 14, I think it's 14.1. So wait and see if we can hear anything. Just wait and see if we can hear any Morse code right now. Of course, my thing doesn't have CW mode, so I just go on lower sideband or upper sideband and try and narrow the bandwidth. But I don't think we'll hear anything, unless maybe like the New York one or something like that, because the New York one is pretty strong. I think it's 4U1UN, I think is the call sign for the International Beacon Project. Hey, Alexander Alp. How's everything going on where you are? Yeah, I noticed that this morning. I tuned into Japan, which Japan was actually better than I expected. And then I heard like Voice of Korea, like not audible at all. And then I was like, what the heck happened? And then I looked and the K index was 5. I'm like, that explains something. And I checked Voice of America in Korean, which is like super strong on 12080. And it's like not even there. It's like so weak right now. It's so fluttery. Oh man. Yicky! However, they do say always tune the bands when you don't expect something to come through, because heard that somebody got VFF Iqaluit one time when propagation was terrible. I need to, is VFF Iqaluit still going right now? I completely missed this entire summer. I wanted to get it, and if it's already done, then I'm gonna have to wait till May next year. CRI and RFI on 13 meter band. Yeah, let me try the 21490. See if that jammer is on right now. Oh dear. 21490. It's like non-existent. Wow. Try 11815. See how Japan is doing. I'm kind of lucky I'm actually receiving them because this pole is helping me. This is my antenna right now. Trying to prop my camera again here. Last time I heard NHK with the interval signal like that was probably back in like April. I do probably have the best antenna in the whole town. I just find random light poles and then just stick the telescopic antenna right next to it. I've never heard that Japan interval signal that fluttery before. I don't even think we're gonna get Transworld Radio Eswatini on 11880. Or I guess we are, okay. Oh my gosh, it's so fluttery. And I'm gonna hear Voice of America sign off because Voice of Korea is like non-existent right now on 11710. This has to be one of my favorite interval signals. It's so beautiful. Oh, don't worry, Smiley. Take your time. You gotta get that hash brown back. Farewell, Voice of America. Alexander Alp. Well, from what I can monitor, I know, and this might be a hard catch for you, I know I can kind of hear WRMI Legends, of course. That's usually in the nighttime here. The other, I guess Radio New Zealand has some good music. Sometimes it can be pop, but most of the time it can be things from like the 80s or something like that. But it's usually, I think, music from down there, so it's like absolutely beautiful. There's the fake CRI Portuguese and Polish broadcasts and Bulgarian. I know Radio Romania, of course, they have their musical sections where it's sometimes pop, but then they have the classical one. I heard Radio Romania one time a couple years ago. They were playing jazz, and man, that was amazing. That jazz was awesome. Those are the only ones I can think of off the top of my head. I have to check for some others. VOA. I wish VOA, because I heard a recording on shortwavearchive.com from the 1980s. VOA had this program called Jazz Hour. They need to bring that back instead of the trash pop here. I don't like the pop here in America anymore. I used to listen to the FM radio. I think all of my tapes that had like hit music from that time, which I still kind of enjoy, I'd say that's like the height of when I listened to pop, because I feel like that was the height of it. And then like 2020 and down, I stopped listening. And when I like came back to attempting to listen to pop on FM radio here, it's so bad. I can't listen to it. $11,725 at 16 UTC. I'll have to try that one out. I have to see what it brings. Want to see. I don't think it's on right now. I know on Tuesday I got Chesapeake Bay really good, but I think that's at 15:30 UTC. Let's take a look here. 13089. Yeah, I think it's okay. So I think it is at 15:30 UTC. By the way, do any of you guys use 120 volts, 60 hertz, or are you guys 240 volts, 50 hertz for plugs? I'm just wondering. Oh my goodness, I heard something fall down there. I don't know what that was. Yeah, it's quite sad there. Like, I don't understand why they're cutting, and yet they want like just yeah. Oh, you guys use 50 hertz, okay? Yeah, because I know here we use the 60 hertz, of course. Go up to 13,570 here. Yeah, I just completely realized I was in upper sideband. I was like, why is it tuning so fast? Radio Marti is like barely even making it out. And that's when you know propagation is bad, because Radio Marti is basically a 24/7 station for me. From Greenville, North Carolina. Bandcom 90, do you mean World Music Radio? WMR? Because WRMI doesn't do, I think the highest they go is 17,790, which is Radio Africa. Other than that, I think, yeah, because I think World Music Radio is 25.8. I keep forgetting to always try and attempt to tune into the BBC broadcast on like 25.9 in the mornings. I keep forgetting to do it because I'm so busy trying to listen to Japan. Oh, this is the World Network Russian broadcasts. I think is Radio Prague on right now from the WRN Russian? Alexander Alp, Radio Havana, Cuba is an interesting one. Sometimes they're on the air, sometimes they're not. Most of the time I usually used to hear them on their Spanish programs. Every once in a while I'll hear them on like English, I think like accidentally when they're supposed to be doing Chinese or China Radio International. But I know their carrier on 6000, which used to carry the English broadcast from 0 to 06 hours, used to come in pretty well. The carrier's still on, it's just there's no modulation at all. They need their Soviet era transmitters fixed. Makes me wonder. I haven't heard 11935 in forever. I'm trying to remember. So last B20, that would be B22 schedules, I think. No, B-23 schedules. I heard a buzzing sound over Radio Marti on 11860. Was that where Republic of Yemen radio used to be? Because I remember hearing that buzzing sound before. And if so, that means I have caught Yemen radio before. Oh, there you go. I'm catching them right now. They have the pulsing that they're having right now. Their modulation, their carrier being not okay right now. They're like 80 hertz above 11935, so I should probably just go to 11936. Hey Arnie, how are you? So yeah, I'm getting Yemen radio. I need to make a video for you, Arnie, because I have a bunch of just random telescopic whip antennas, so I need to take 2 of them out and make them do 2 loops. So then that way I can get 2 telescoping whips. Yeah, you can hear the modulation having problems there. Let me know if you guys have a station that you want me to tune to see if I can hear it. But yeah, Yemen radio. It's a pretty quiet morning. I'm gonna have to put the camera down in a second because I'm using my water bottle handle to mount my phone camera, which is actually doing pretty well. But I'll have to take a drink here. I think I've only said this once on the stream. We're so spoiled here with water because the mountains, literally, when they melt in the summer, all that snow comes down through the streams and it's just so clean. You can literally drink tap water here and it's so good. Let's try, we haven't tried Voice of Korea yet, 11710, I just want to check. Yeah, it's so weak. Non-existent Voice of Turkey, 17815. Trying to, I guess, okay, I'll leave you guys with WWV while I take a quick sip of water here.
15 hours, 10 minutes, coordinated universal time.
They just did leap seconds. I didn't even realize that. They would announce when they do leap seconds like they did in the 80s, at least from recordings I've heard. Your attention please. At the recommendation of the International Time Bureau, a leap second will be inserted into the broadcast. Let's try 10 megahertz. 5 megahertz was doing okay. 10 megahertz was WWVH, but it looks like WWVH is completely gone right now. Something on 13710. I guess since also propagation is bad too, if you guys want me to do like an FM band scan or something like that, let me know. Though an FM band scan I would have to do quickly because I don't care much about copyright, but I know sometimes it'll block it'll block it will block videos in some countries, aka basically Belarus and Russia. So squirrel just passed by. I saw that squirrel the other day. He just slowly comes forward, and then he's scared of me, so he just quickly zooms across the top of the fence post. Weird. That's weird. All I could think of is a 19-meter band. Oh, okay, they're not on schedule. Yeah, that's... Unless some station is testing or something like that. I don't know. That's weird.
They were criticized. They often face...
Well, WWCR never seems to fail during bad propagation.
To go a long haul.
Well, let's see what the 19-meter band has for us. I think that's China Radio International, correct? Or is that Voice of Korea 15245? Which I got the other day thanks to this giant baseball field antenna, or light pole for as an antenna. It basically made KBS World Radio boom on 15265 and stuff. Speaking of 15265, Adventist World Radio from Austria. Probably one of the only few times I can get Austria so well. Morning. I think Austria is 6155. I think that's 05 UTC. So I think that's 11 o'clock here. I'd have to try during the winter time. Definitely not during the summertime, because I know it was way past daytime in Austria. But that's one of the ones I want to try. Voice of Mongolia and Austria I really want to try so bad, because it's like the last schedule left of it. Which is funny that they kept shortwave because, if I'm correct, I think a lot of their medium wave stations like switched off in like the 1990s, late 1990s. It's like, what are you doing? What are you doing, Austria? Why are you leaving medium wave like that? Alexander Alp, when you sent me that video of you receiving a Sputnik test, do you know what the transmitter site was? By chance? Was it like one in Russia, or was it just like a relay? Weird. WWCR kind of weak on a 15.825 there. I know apparently 2 years ago they did a test on 10.089 from the I'm probably gonna say this so wrong, to Blitska transmitter site. I'm surprised. I know that Sakuna in Lithuania is back on medium wave. I don't know why they won't bring back the shortwave one. They have a perfectly good Continental 100 kilowatt transmitter just sitting there, and it's not in use. Like, also a bummer that the Radio Center number 5, is that what it is? In Boklo Slovako. It's sad that they don't have the shortwave transmitters, because I'm sure they would have done tests on shortwave if they could. But of course they only have the medium wave transmitters. Welcome back, Smiley. Try a 16-meter band here. Good old DoorDash. Okay, passing by 17530 reminds me of getting Voice of America in English, which usually is from 17 to 1830 from Greenville. I have something to think about that. I think the only reason Voice of America is still using Greenville is I feel like they're forced to. I wonder if they have to have like a certain amount of hours, because it's all going down to Africa anyway, and it's not as strong, and they already have relays in Africa. It's either that or they don't have enough. Because even back when Sao Tome was K-index is 7 now. Wow, Arnie, wow, that's crazy. But even when Sao Tome was on, they still had to use it. So I wonder if they have to have a certain amount of time on it or something like that, because I don't think it's usually quite strong down in Africa, but then again, I could be wrong. I know now, ever since they closed Sao Tome, a lot of the times Botswana is using full power. They're using all of their 4 100 kilowatt Continentals. Wow. Yeah, that's a bummer. Propagation all of a sudden like just went crazy. It went crazy on us. Well, WRMI is trying to come in. Very well. I know the Adventist World Radio Wavescan programs are archived, but I'm archiving them myself, probably for about a year or so. There are times where I will have to go off the Apple Podcast, because I know I missed one. I think it was program 809 or something, because last week, because they actually played 810, which is, or like 2 weeks ago, because they accidentally played 810, which is supposed to be the one for last weekend. But I should upload, because there's a snippet where Jeff White talks about how he got into shortwave. Basically, it was he turned on a radio, he tuned by, and all of a sudden, like, he was about to tune away from the station, and then he heard the words, "This is Radio Sofia, Bulgaria," and he was like, "How could this be?" Rest in peace, Radio Bulgaria. You will be missed in our hearts. At least they still have the transmitter site near in Kostanbrod. Whereas Plovdiv is long gone from coming back. Those antennas are gone. And that's the end of the 16 meter bands. I might tune the taking a look here. I might tune the 20 meter band again here. See what hams we got going, and we'll check 15565 and see if Vatican Radio is gonna be our French to air propagate. Let's hope so. Hey, no problem, Prabhakar V. Hopefully I'm saying your name correctly. Oh wait, hold up, that... Where was that tone? I thought that was on 14230 because I love SSTV. Speaking of SSTV, I've only heard somebody do 40 meter SSTV once. And that was like 1 or 2 years ago. They were doing some SSTV. I was on an SDR somewhere in the US, probably I think it was the one in Utah. They were sending images, and then this one person said, "Try 7171," and then they issued it, and they're like, "This is my first 40 meter SSTV." When they started doing SSTV on 41 meters, I'm like, why aren't people doing more SSTV on those frequencies? Like, they're allocated. Then again, half the problem is people don't even know that 7171 is for slow scan. Though in Europe, I see you guys get 3730 a lot. People do 3730 a lot.
Hey, Roger on that. Well, good to hear you in there. I turned back to net control there. He'll be bugging out of here. But anyway, Mike, take care. Nice to talk to you there. AJ4YD back to net.
Right at the end there, you just start.
Try 15565 real quick. Hey, let's go. Yippee! I don't know if they do 15595, but let me check it. See if we get anything. Nothing. Usually don't get 15595 well because it's beamed to the Middle East. I can't remember what language that is exactly for 15565. One of the best interval signals ever. Though I prefer the one from the 80s. I prefer the interval signal that they had from the 80s. It was, spoiler alert, it's the same one. I think it's just on a different instrument. Oh, I had a radio moment the other day, so I was tuning the Open Web RX Web SDRs, which, by the way, thank you, Arnie, for showing me those on your last live stream. And I realized I could do DAB, and I was on one in Germany, and then all of a sudden I see that I could tune into Deutschlandfunk, and I was like, oh my gosh, DLF! I never heard them on medium wave, let's go! I freaked out. Oh, well, they're mowing the lawn, I guess. I don't know the grass here, which they do on Mondays. So I don't know what they're doing here. Hey, no problem, Smiley. Stay as long as you want. Do something on 15640. So, does anybody want to, should I do an FM band scan? Let me know. So, show what I have here, I guess. Oh, no, it's 15:30. Hold up, I gotta check 13089. And I need to turn down the volume as it goes into SSB, because, yeah, I could do an airband scan. Not the best on airband scan, but I kind of have an idea. Or I've done airband scans before. A couple on camera and a couple off camera, but I guess you could say I'm still kind of noob with airband scans. Because I don't know if you're supposed to go slow or fast, and I just go fast. Yeah, Chesapeake Bay is barely coming in. I was actually at a relative's house the other week, and they're close to DIA, aka Denver International Airport, which is like southeast of me, which is the second biggest airport in the world. Dubai beats us by 1 square mile. And we're quite fortunate because we've been to airports where it takes 10 minutes to walk to a concourse. We have a train, so we don't have to walk to concourses, which is nice. Despite it breaking down a lot, it's important. So let's go down at the bottom here, 118. I can't remember exactly all the frequencies, but I know at least like 2 or 3 maybe. So let's noisy over there. Oh, you know, I know where that interference is coming from. That's coming from that 4G tower over there.
Visual 165,
Hey, signal listener. I can't remember exactly what is 120.8, but I've listened to it a lot. I think it does come from DIA. Yes, airband. Waiting for this lawnmower to go past. That way we can actually hear what's happening. Ah, my finger's in the way.
runway right before.
So this is air traffic control here from Denver International Airport. One of the air traffic control frequencies.
Yeah, it was just a bunch of pigeons. We don't see any wrong parameters here, but we heard a couple bangs on the bottom. Alright, to departure, Frontier Flight 1890.
Oh, departure, lovely. You got a request for that departure, ground and taxi. Or I think it's what, departure land and taxi, if I'm correct. I think 124.3 is the only frequency I've memorized in my head, which is the air traffic control for DIA. I have a video from December because I love payphones, and I know they're like literally going away here, and they had some payphones there in the concourses that could give you like 10-minute, I think, free phone calls or something like that. They didn't work. There were some though that still had the line, like you could push the buttons and they would give out the DTMF tones, but that was it. And then they replaced them when I went back in March when went down on a trip to Puerto Rico. Not so far, not recently for new receivers. Pretty much good on my D808. I also feel like if I got any new receivers, my parents would freak out because they're like, you have so many receivers, and now they're trying to do this thing where it's like, if I get a new one, I have to get rid of an old one. I'm like, what? So I was lucky when I got this one that I didn't have to get rid of another one. Oh wait, I actually did get rid of one of them because it was so trash. It was like an FM AM shortwave, and I never realized until I got like this other one that had like an analog dial on it instead of like this digital one, and it was like a $50 radio or something like that. It was so bad on like sensitivity. Like I compared it to another one I had before I got my D808. Like I tested Japan when it was like super strong. I could get it on that like analog looking dial radio. It was DSP, of course, because it's new, but like the other one could barely pick it up, and I was like, all right, this thing is not sensitive at all. And AM was weird sometimes. Like if you had a weaker station like over a strong one, sometimes you'd have to go to like 867 kilohertz to all of a sudden like tune into it or something like that. I was like, what? Oh, you should definitely do that, Alexander Alp. Definitely. Yeah, you're getting that signal good of 10053 kilohertz there, signal listener. 400 kilowatt medium wave, my goodness. Pretty quiet sounding. Oh, I heard something there. Still getting that interference from that 4G cell phone tower over there.
One six right, clear to land. You got it, 41.
Oh, well, they're clear to land. Yippee!
Tower United 1690 for 16 left. 1690, that's Tower with 180 at 15 and the 16 left, clear to land. 16 left, clear to land, United 1690.
Oh my gosh, it's all jumbled up. Yeah, tuning at WebSDRs in Europe, it just seems like the ITU is like, you can have a max of 2,000 kilowatts, do whatever power you want, as long as in your country it's licensed, whatever. Whereas like here, the FCC is like, all right, this station has to shut off at this night. This station can, you know, do non-directional signaling and stuff like that. Like for an information radio station that's literally down from me to like 2018 or 2019, to request to have like to go from 5 watts to 10 watts, they had to examine like the other close frequencies and stuff that were near to that station to like figure out, and then they realized, yeah, there's nothing there, it's not going to cause any interference, so we grant them to go up to 10 kilowatts, so like not 10 kilowatts, 10 watts. And I was like, oh my goodness, it was like 2 pages long. So that was an air band scan there. Oh yeah, you started school there, didn't you, Signal listener? Down in Romania. I see. Sometimes I'm surprised that, like, I have friends with such a hobby I have. Though I've learned I don't want to really talk about it around them because they're not interested, so I don't want to burn them out, you know? Taking a look here, seeing if medium waves, check on a few stations here real quick on medium wave. So yeah, Chesapeake Bay is starting to come in okay, which is good. Glad that that's happening. Oh, I realized my camera is going to interfere. $9,996. Let me take a look, see if I can get the RWM time signal. So far, I've only heard that is awesome, Alexander Alp. Speaking of, I was about to actually share a story of I was volunteering at a local food pantry like a month or two ago. As one person, like I said, I was a shortwave radio enthusiast, and they said they were in the 80s and stuff like that, and they were surprised that like shortwave was still around. They said they had an ICF 2010, and when they got it, it was broken, so they sent it back to Sony, and Sony gave them a new one. They still have it to this day, but like not long after that is when they discontinued the ICF 2010s. But I was like, wow. Yeah, there was so much to hear back then. I'm sad that I missed it. I like to blame it on technology advancing way too rapidly. Oh, I was tuning RWM. That's what I was tuning. But I've only heard a recording of, I think there was another time station, RID. RID, it used to be from Izerstuk. I cannot pronounce the Russian town names, but there used to be one there. I think there used to be another one there as well, and I don't know if that's there at all still or not. I couldn't find any information on it. Oh, I know it's not active anymore, but I couldn't find any information. Indeed, Alexander, there is literally no mystery left in the modern life. It's all like, just, yeah, there's nothing like that can. Oh, well, I guess that helps. Going in a lower sideband on 9997 because there's no CW here, so nothing there. Try 14997. Thanks, Smiley. So nothing there. I think because my off hour ends at 10:07 here. That's what, 16:07 UTC. But it takes me about like 7 minutes just to walk to the front door for some reason. I don't know why. I'm literally next to the school. So I will end probably after the Vatican radio interval signal ends at, what's that, 16, or when it starts at 16 UTC at the end of that. So that's when the stream will end, just to let everybody know to get prepared. I want to say right now, and I will say it again at the end of the stream, thank you all for coming. Thanks for joining me as we tune on very not great propagation days. But we still got like 15 more minutes, so. Yeah, I should check the CB bands, signal listener. I always keep forgetting that I can check the CB bands. Hey, not bad, Smiley. Not bad. I know in my school I have to do Spanish, so. I can't remember what the exact like start of the CB band is. I can't remember all the channels. But let's take a look here. See if we can get anything, in fact. Oh, I just realized I'm way out of the CB band. Oh. Indeed, Alexander Alp. I'll just start out of nowhere. I'll start spewing out the KBS World Radio like identification that they'll give in the interval signal in like Spanish or Chinese or something like that, or even Korean. It's just like so many things to learn from it. I mean, I learned a few Romanian numbers from a 1980s recording when there was that Skylark number station VO1. I think it was 27025. There used to be something there a couple days ago. CB band is like non-existent right now. You know, I completely realized after I'm done with this and I go in and I get in my next class, I realized that I have to, I realized that I get to go dissect owl pellets, which I haven't done since 4th grade, so that's going to be lovely. No, I'm not grossed out, I'm just like, let's go. Yeah, Patru is always, number 4 is always the one that I always remember. I remember hearing Radio Romania Actualitate via SDR on New Year's Eve, and I heard Romania ring in the new year, and unfortunately the frequency I was on was one that was not 24 hours a day, so after that they signed off and I was like, no. But I did get Radio Rossi with the Putin message and the Kremlin chimes. Smiley, I will be dissecting an owl pellet. I think I'm way out of the CB band now, but I'm not hearing anything. So that's great. Yeah, 999 kilohertz, that's what I heard it from Moldova. Which I think, didn't they start broadcasting that when they took over the Moldova Center? Which is interesting that they, if that is true, that's interesting that they're bringing like Vesti FM and like Radio Rossi back on medium wave, because it's like, all of a sudden, now you need it, you know? Like, almost like when they started 8 years, like after they ended all that stuff. Oh, if you guys didn't heard, there's a Christian station that wants to start broadcasting to Russia via the former 963 kilohertz from the Pori transmitter site in Finland, which of course was used by YLE on shortwave from like 86 to 2006. There was a different Pori before that, so that's why. But then the town built around it, and then people started hearing signals through their microwaves and ovens. But I think the medium wave signals, I think 600 kilowatts, was YLE Radio Finland till 2006, and then China Radio International until 2013. If they do get this, to go forth and go and just broadcast there, I wonder if they'll use the full 600 kilowatts or if they'll use something different. I don't know. I really hope so, because we need more Finland on. We need more Finland back, or Nordic countries, you know. Thank goodness. Hopefully that will have, thanks to Matt, Arctic 252 at least. So that means when Iceland goes down at the end of this year, that we'll still have a long wave station in a Nordic country. So that will. Yeah, the 600 kilowatt signal will be would be great. I have a reception back of October. I'm still tuning this frequency, I don't know why. I'm gonna just leave it on Vatican Radio here while we chat. I heard back in October, I heard one of those Radio Rossi tests via the SDR in the Netherlands on 549. They didn't use the full power, but I think this is the first time they, instead of testing with 100 kilowatts, they used 600 kilowatts, and it was so strong. Of course, it was a little bit delayed than the 999 kilohertz, but the signal was so wide that I had it max on the SDR, and it just sounded great. I got the ID and stuff like that at 18 hours UTC and everything. I still have the recording. I wonder if I should publish it. I might wait, because I like to record some things and wait like years and then post it, and then people will be like, man, I remember this, and then I can also feel nostalgic, you know? Oh, I said I was going to leave it on Vatican Radio. What am I doing? But yeah, hopefully they can get that 963 kilohertz signal going, because that would be great. I think more countries, you know, they should have like more countries where they can like have commercial broadcasters on long wave, you know. Like I'm surprised they won't, you know. It'd also be cool to hear a signal from Finland on long wave, because forever I'd been trying to look up. Cause I'd been able to find like somewhere on YouTube just a recording of the interval signal of DR Langpule on 243 from like back in the 80s, and I kept trying to look everywhere to see if somebody had a recording of YLE on 252, but I can't find anything. Nice and fluttery signal as we want. Interesting that Vatican Radio is coming in like that, because like I guess it's kind of close to the east, but like stations like Bulgaria, or not Bulgaria, I'm sorry, Romania and such like that, or Turkey come in with that kind of fading, whereas like Spain and such like that, they don't come in flutter like that. Then again, it is also not a great shortwave day, so. I guess I should also take this moment, if you guys all want to share any videos to me on YouTube or something like that, just put in the description, like, dedicated to @the Shortwave Archive 35, no spaces in between, no capital letters, just @ symbol the Shortwave Archive 35. and then I should get a notification. So, in case you guys want to like make any videos for me to see. Can I get 999 kilohertz Radio Rossi? Probably very likely not. It's possible, but I don't know for sure. I'm gonna get ready. I think they're gonna play the interval signal. Then they're gonna turn off the transmitter, and then they're gonna turn it back on, which I don't understand why. Did they just say megacycles? That's like 1960s shortwave era, not 2024 era. I knew it. They were going to turn off the transmitter and then they're going to come back on. Why? I don't know why they do that. And then they come back. And I think they're using the same antenna beam or something. Unless they need to like change feeds or something. I don't know. Or transmitters. And I don't know much technical information on that. That they would turn off and then turn back on. Is that what you mean, Alexander Alp? They actually switch antenna beams? I think they switched antenna beams because that is much weaker. Yeah, I would say it is annoying because it's like, if okay, I guess this one makes sense because if you're changing antenna beams, but like if you're not, like there's no reason for that. Unless they're like, we got to get a few minutes of not broadcasting so we can use less money or something. Oh wow, it started. All right. Well, hey everyone, thank you for thanks for joining this live stream, and hopefully I'll see you all in another stream. Hopefully, potentially by the weekend. I'll have to see. I don't know. I might be busy or not. But hey, take care, everyone. Signal listener, Alexander Alp, Arnie DXer, if you're still on. Smiley, take care, y'all.